So when we consider about the differences between functional and non-functional requirement, we can say non-functional requirement describing how the system works and functional requirement describe what the system should do. Then functional requirement describes the functions and behavior of the system. The other hand, non-functional requirement describe the properties, limitation and constraints of a system. So when we consider about the fan, I told you the main functional requirement of the fan is giving wind out. Then color, the brand name, whether it is buttons or manual or the remote control fan, that is non-functional requirement. So functional requirements are the things that the user requested from the system, but non-functional requirements describe how the system works. So mainly I told you we are considering the limitations, efficiency, accuracy, security in there. And it's no need to write this one. Just look at in non-functional requirement, we discuss about the performance, capacity, availability, reliability, then maintainability, security, usability, those features we discuss in the non-functional requirement. Then we discuss this question, system, consider the following statement regarding the automatic ATM teller machine. System shall dispense cash in less than 10 seconds. Less than 10 seconds. That means it is explaining about some kind of fast. That fast normally we consider about essential non-functional requirement. Why? It is not a nice to have. It is essential. That means if it is a system, it and normally the fast speed we consider as a non-functional and it is essential. If it is delaying around 2 or 3 days, then obviously we don't like it. Then touchscreen we took it as a nice to have non-functional. Even though touchscreen is not there, we can use the buttons in the ATM machine. So using manual buttons, we can withdraw money rather than touchscreen. But it is nice to have. So nice to have, I told you, Tibunot Hondai. Likewise. Even though if it is not there, we can use another method. Okay, so that is the most important point we discussed there. Then 33, so 32, 2016. Which of the following statement is an example of essential non-functional requirement of internet banking? Uh, then system shall facilitate its user to open an account. Open an account means functional requirement. Then next one, check the bank balance. That also functional requirement. System shall use 256-bit encryption for all communications. Encryption means security. Security also we consider as essential non-functional requirement. Why? Security we took as non-functional, but it must be there, essential. System should facilitate its user to order checkbooks. Then that can be functional or non-functional. That depend on the system type. Then next one, system should be able to render information on all popular web browsers. So we don't care about whether the access in different kind of web browsers. It is nice to have. That means using Explorer or Edge or Firefox. It is not the main functional, non-functional requirement. So we take it as a nice to have. Tibunot hondai. Nice to have non-functional requirement. Then this also we discussed. Okay, explanation of that. Which of the following statement best describe nice to have non-functional requirement automated teller machine? So we discussed system shall facilitate user to withdraw money. So this is I think 2011. Uh, Withdraw money is today functional requirement and deposit money also today functional requirement. But that time deposit money was non-functional. But today we are depositing money and withdrawing money as a functional requirement. Then third one, system shall use 256-bit encryption for all communication. That is security. Security means essential non-functional requirement. Then It is coming non-functional because security, and the main thing is it must be there, essential. System should provide user touchscreen interface. Nice to have non-functional requirement. People not that. But if it is not there, we can use the buttons of the system and we can withdraw the money. System shall dispense money within 5 seconds. 5 seconds mean time, that is limitation. It should be essential non-functional requirement. So they are asking non-functional requirement. So ATM encryption considered as a security, therefore it takes as essential non-functional requirement. Here, nice to have non-functional mean touch screen. So answer should be fourth one. Nice to have non-functional requirement, fourth one. Then I gave this one, 2011 A-level essay, question number 4B. Describe the functional and non-functional requirement of the system. Identify 2 functional requirements and 3 non-functional requirements. Non-functional requirement describes how the system works, and functional requirement describe what the system should do. And earlier days, we discussed about non-functional mean limitation, constraint. That also you can mention for non-functional requirement. We can consider about the limitations. Non-functional limitation, I think I gave it in the description. Here we discuss about the non-functional. Non-functional we can consider as a limitation or constraint. That point also can put as the answer. Then when we consider about the mobile phone make calls, functional requirement, receive calls, send SMS, receive SMS, functional requirement. They didn't mention about the smartphone, okay? They mention only the mobile phone. So if it is a smartphone, accessing internet also can be there as a functional, but mainly functional requirement, make a call, receive a call, send an SMS, receive an SMS. Then non-functional requirement, size, price, battery, lifetime, memory capacity, and the brand name. And the brand name can be whether Samsung or we can take whether Nokia, likewise. Then, did I discuss this one? No. So first you better, I'll hide this one. Okay, doesn't matter. Just look at this one. Requirement of a system can be classified as mandatory, new word coming, within bracket essentials, comma, desirable, optional, functional and non-functional requirement. By looking this sentence, we can make a small note. Requirement of a system can be classified mandatory, that means other name essential, or optional, that means desirable. Functional requirement or non-functional requirement. That means it makes 4 points. Functional requirement, there can be mandatory or essential functional requirement. Then other type, desirable or optional functional requirement. Okay. Then non-functional requirement can be optional or desirable, other one mandatory or essential. So mandatory essential functional requirement, desirable optional functional requirement, mandatory essential non-functional requirement, desirable optional non-functional requirement. So when we consider about this one, just think about the ATM machine. Withdraw money. What should be there? Withdrawing money should be what? Essential. Essential functional requirement. Okay. Then deposit money. It's a functional, but all the ATM machines not providing the depositing money for facilities. There's some ATMs only. So we can take example, deposit money using ATM. It is a functional, but not all the ATM. Therefore, deposit money can take as desirable. The next one, non-functional requirement. Essential, non-functional, that's security with encryption. In ATM. Another one, withdraw money fast, withdraw money within 5 seconds. Okay, then desirable touchscreen. Is it important? Non-functional requirement. Touchscreen, nice to have. So we can take that one as example. Touchscreen interface. Touchscreen in ATM. Right? So these points you may keep in mind. Okay, now we'll see the question. Question says, mandated ATM bank shall not allow more than 3 attempts enter user secret number incorrect. That means only 3 times can time the wrong password. So if we put the wrong password 3 times, it will get stuck inside it. Card will, the user can't take the card back. It will be stuck there. So what you can say, it is a non-functional, not a main function. Then nice to have the essential. It's a security. Since it is security, it is essential. Essential means mandatory. Mandatory, non-functional requirement. Answer should be second one. Okay. Can you all copy this one? Which of the following system best describe a non-functional requirement of a system? A user shall be able to measure the blood pressure using an electronic blood pressure meter. What can you think about? If it is a blood pressure meter, it obviously should be able to check the blood pressure. Eh? Therefore, it should be functional requirement. Second one, microwave oven should not exceed the temperature above 400. Above 400 means limitation. That means second one should be non-functional requirement. Just look at the third one. An electronic calculator should be able to compute square root of given positive integer. So if it is a calculator, it must find out the square root. So it's a functional requirement. A fourth one little argument that can be changed according to the examination panel. Just look at the automatic teller machine bank shall be able to check the validity of a ATM card. So we can't, that's depend on the normally checking validity means security. Okay, so fourth one I'll keep, that is halfway we can say is a functional, other side non-functional. If that mean according to the examination panel, it may be, they may be take as a non-functional. So fifth one, the internet banking system shall provide balance inquiry facility to the customer. It is functional requirement. So comparing all these, mainly we can say the non-functional requirement is a microwave oven should not exceed the temperature 400. That's a limitation. Fourth one, sometimes they may take it as non-functional. Comparing to all the other answers, the most suitable one is the second one. Copy down the question. So now we are going to discuss about the analytical tool. So now we are in the system analysis stage. So in system analysis, what we discussed, we discuss about the function requirement. So requirement we said there are two types, functional and non-functional requirement. Again, we discuss each and every functional and non-functional. That means functional and non-functional requirement can again divide into essential, that means mandatory functional requirement, then mandatory non-functional requirement, then other hand optional desirable functional requirement, optional desirable non-functional requirement. So like we consider whether the functional requirement, how to use the functional requirement. So now, after we identify functional requirement, we are going to discuss how the system activities behave within a system. That means business activities. We are going to model, we are going to plot the business activities in graphical view. So a start of technique of understanding what is going on the system under investigation. We investigate last week, we discussed about the feasibility studies and what system background. So, sorry, according to that, we are going to draw the activities diagram in the system. It is used to show the business activities that the actors in a system environment do and their association. Who are the people involved with the system and what are the activities going on? We are going to discuss in the business activity diagram. So when we are going to draw the business activity diagram, we should consider about these steps. Identify the business activities carried out in a system environment. In a system environment, what are the activities going on? Then represent them graphically. Normally, we write the activity and make it as oval shape. Link activities in order to occurs. So according to the order, we put the arrows and the activity number. So activity with the arrow we represent. Then define the system boundary. Boundary means, for example, library system, the people who are involved with the system and what are the activities involved with the system, we draw with the system boundary by grouping data dependent activities. So activity diagram represent business activities and system boundary of the system. Now I'm going to take later we'll write the note. Now I'm going to take an example. Okay, so in my example, I'm going to discuss about the library system. Okay, so in this case study, actually for the exam, you will get a case study. In the case study, we will discuss, we will check mainly about the activities. That means we can say actions. What are the actions happening or verb? Now just look at, consider there are many class teachers and many students are involved with the system. So in this paragraph, it's discuss about many teachers and many students, how the student going to get the membership, library membership card. Okay, so library membership issuing system. Student request library membership from and. Now, normally this is like a paragraph. I just cut into the points. Then request is the verb. Student request library membership from and student receive the application from the assistant librarian. So the form is given by the assistant librarian. Then student fill the application form. Okay, up to this, we'll stay with the diagram. Student request the library membership. You have to write the everything in wording. So that means request library membership. Okay. Then you have to overlay. Don't write 1, 2, 3. I just wrote the 1, 2, 3 because I don't have space. So you have to write request library membership, then another arrow. What is happening? Student receive the empty application form. Receive the empty application form by the student. Then student fill the application form. Now student fill the application form. So likewise, you have right. Now I am in the third one. Then hand over to the class teacher. That is fourth one. Hand over the application form to the class teacher. Number 4. You have to write it here. Then another arrow. Fifth one. Class teacher certify the application form. Teacher just put the signature whether the child is in the class. So here class teacher certify the application form. Then next one, hand over the assistant librarian. Then class after teacher certify, hand over to the assistant librarian. The teacher is sending the application form to the assistant librarian. That means hand over the application to the assistant librarian. Number 6. Okay. Then number 7th one. Assistant librarian receive the fill application form and the student record book. Assistant librarian receive the application form and here hand over the record book. I have taken the 8th one, hand over the record book, and here assistant librarian receive the record book and the filled form. 8 and 9. Then assistant librarian check the valid application with the help of student record book. Okay. Then after receiving number 10, check the availability of the application form with the student record book. Number 10. Then 11, assistant librarian hand over the student record book to the chief librarian. The record book is going to the chief librarian. Number 11, no, not 11. Number 12, assistant, that means check the availability of the student information. Now, assistant librarian hand over the record to the librarian. Then student pay the membership bill. Okay. So, when the student is paying the membership bill, that also have to mention. Check the value. I just put this one with the numbers, then that will be easy for you to understand. Right? Not the bullet, I'll make it as a number. And otherwise, when you are drawing, you will be in trouble. Okay. Now look at. Now we are in the number 10. Student pay the membership to the bill to the library cashier. That means number 11. Pay the bill. So we are not going to write everything. We just write in short form. Pay the bill. Then next one, number 12. Student receive the bill payment received by the cashier. 12. Handle the bill payments. Okay, handle payments and bill. Then 13. Cashier hand over the bill payment receipt to the chief librarian. Then chief librarian handle the membership issue with the help of student record book, valid application form, and payment details. Then student receive the student record book and membership. Last one, student receive the valid membership. Okay, so likewise, one by one, I have taken up to 15 because I have added 2 points together. So you can make one by one up to the last one. So this is what we call it as activity diagram. Shall we start writing the final part? I will do some changes. And if you want, you can make more parts. That means I have done up to 15, 14. Then next one, valid application form, payment details. There's no verb. That's what I have skipped this one. Just look at valid application forms and payment details. That means 15 is not there. No verb. If the verb is there, we have to write it. Okay. Student receive the student record book with the membership number. Receive the membership card, student record, 15th one. So if there is a verb, then we are going to add it. Then Student received the valid membership. 16 is also not there. 16 is coming to the other one. Altogether 15. Okay. So altogether 15s are there. Now this is mapping this. That means we are not going to write entire thing. We will make it as a summary with the keyword. Issuing bill, sending receipt, likewise. Okay. So if you want, just look at it again. 15th one, receive the student record book. The final one, receive the membership card and student record book. Okay. So now we are going to write up to this